Welcome to Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki, where inspiration meets action. This is your spot to grow, level up, and lead with fresh ideas. From sales to service, from frontline teams to executives, we're dropping weekly knowledge and insight to keep your store sharp, relevant, and profitable. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody, to Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki. Oh, I can't wait for you to meet my next guest, Uli DeMartino. Gosh, Matador AI. You're going to love this guy. He's on the advisory board, the dealer advisory board here, and it's really great to actually hear a board member step up and get involved in this conversation. I mean, you guys are really slaying AI out there, and I use it in my high-performing clients, dealerships. I'm very acclimated to this product. I'm very excited about it. Let's talk a little bit about your hands-on experience in retail. And I know you've built a career from the sales floor up through management, general manager even. Well, tell us, what makes it so unique to have this voice of the dealer in a tech company for you?
Well, first, thank you for the incredibly warm welcome. It's great to be here. What makes this so unique for the voice of the dealer for me?
Yes.
I think it's super fun and super interesting to be involved in something like this because it's not often that someone who is inside the business also gets to kind of
Yes.
weigh in on what could really benefit the business. Because I feel like there's always been this disconnect between what dealers want and then what a vendor or a partner is willing to provide. And one of the big hurdles that I've always noticed in my career has been, a lot of the systems that come out end up being siloed. And
Hmm.
as good as our intentions are, and whatever the idea is of whatever we're going to implement, you end up running into this friction from
Yeah.
your team. Maybe they don't see the long-term vision, or whatever it is. The reality is we have this human aspect within the four walls of anyone's dealership, not just mine, everyone's, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that human element provides these kind of friction points that inhibit adoption of any of these solutions or technologies.
Correct.
And
I see this.
Matador's really come a long way of creating a smooth, frictionless process that makes it less like a siloed product and more just like an extension of self or an extension of sales team.
Well, you would know because you've turned around underperforming stores and you walk into a struggling dealership. I'm sure there's things that are glaring right at you. What's the first thing that you look at to get performance moving in the right direction?
What a loaded question. I mean, there's things that are glaringly obvious, but the devil is in the details. So I mean, it's easy to fix an underperforming store when you walk in and you notice, there's no one coming to greet anyone at the door. There's garbage outside. The cars aren't lined up. It
Mm,
becomes a little more difficult when there's an underperforming store that looks topically like it's doing well. So where are we dropping the ball?
mhm.
And my motto has been the same for decades at this point. To be successful in car sales, it does not take rocket science. It is the relentless execution of the basics. That's it. So
Yeah.
again, leaning into a technology like Matador, again, what can we
Mhm.
do to kind of clone my ethos or vision and replicate that and allow the sales team to kind of, expand on that, and having something so concrete behind the scenes that can, adhere to a strict set of rules that,
Mhm.
hey, this is how we want to follow up with our customers. We want to make sure that not only the sexy leads, right? The day 1, day 2, day 3 leads, we want to follow up with those day 10 leads, those day 20 leads. We want to make sure that every single one of our customers is going to be handled and addressed. And a technology like this really makes it simple for the sales team to get on board because they can focus on, the exciting stuff, the customers that are here day one, the people that are in front of you, and let a technology like Matador agnostically follow up in the background and make sure that nothing slips through the cracks.
Yeah, and that's very real because a lot of times, and every dealership is doing lead distribution differently. So sometimes the leads go round robin to the sales floor, and then you're
Mhm.
tied up with a customer for 4 hours and nobody's
Yeah.
responding to that customer. That customer emails you back, and it's just sitting in an inbox for hours. And this is compromising our opportunity to accelerate our business and our successes and our conversions. And really, you're compromising that customer feeling really great about you and your brand. And at the end of the day, they oftentimes write reviews about the person that they engage with, not necessarily the dealership name. And so you always want to have like people right there when the customer wants to be heard and they've got questions.
For sure.
And that's what's so great about this technology from
Yeah.
my perspective, because I've just seen leads sit there and rot. And as to your point, you know, I've noticed in the past, my behavior has been not necessarily 72 hours, those sexy leads you call them, but by the way, I would say 72 hours today. But in the past, it's been 90 days where I see the conversion, 120 days. And I know that that's still there, but who the heck wants to follow up with the people that long? So I see what you're saying. It's like, you've got to get people in the pipeline. You've got to get people consistently executing for consistent results.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about customer experience. We all sell the same cars. There's
Right.
no dealership out there that has, well, I mean, there might be one or two that sell some unique one-offs, but at the end of the day, we're all selling the same stuff. So how can we differentiate ourselves? That customer experience.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Well, you've scaled a lot of operations and, you know, from variable to fixed operations, you know, how do you help dealers connect those two departments so that they're not operating independently? I mean, because that's always the challenge in dealerships. It's like the same customer, right? You know, but then there's all these different touch points, and sometimes sales is against service and vice versa. And it's like, how do you bring everybody together?
Tactfully, right? So threading the needle, everyone needs to understand that we're all rowing in the same direction. At the end of the day, we're not in the business to sell one car to one customer. We're in the business to sell all of the cars to this customer and their friends and their family and everyone they've ever met. That's
Yeah.
the be all end all goal. How do we do that? Well, through, you know, weekly meetings with all of the
Mhm.
managers throughout all the different departments and reminding everyone, hey, we're pulling in the same direction. So that means the used car manager has to be aligned with the service department. We're going to over recondition cars because at the end of the day, what's the next touch that a customer has at our dealership? It's going to be their first service appointment. If they're buying a
Definitely.
used car, they shouldn't have anything to do other than change that oil, right? And if
Mm.
they're buying a new car, same thing. We're going to wash
Mhm.
off the car, make it beautiful. We're going to change the oil, and you know, there's nothing else that really needs to happen. But again, it's reminding these people that yes,
Mhm.
maybe we need to spend a little more today on the acquisition of a car or the acquisition of a customer or the reconditioning of a car. But
Mhm.
ultimately, this all pays 10x, 100x, you know, in the longevity in that customer life cycle. And you know what that brings us to the store applies directly to the bottom line.
Yeah, I agree. It's, you know, a lot of times we don't talk about guest experience together as a company. And again, if everybody knows what everybody's doing, then it's consistency in the way that people feel about all their touch points. It doesn't matter what the department is, parts, it could be service, it could be after sales, it could be anything. But if everybody is really trying to be efficient and everybody's trying to make these connections with people, you know, we can't compromise the way that people feel about our
Mhm.
company and our team members. And that kind of goes back even to just technology in the dealerships and ensuring that everybody knows what we're doing and where we're going and why we're doing it. Because I think a lot of times we get technology pieces, tools, if you will, and then people just sort of think it's going to do the job for them when, you know, it is important that everybody knows what tools we're using. Sometimes you see voice AI in the service department,
Mhm.
you see AI, you know, in texting and email and sales, and all of these are designed to enhance the customer experience,
Mhm.
to create more efficiency so that we can spend the right time with people, connect with them, build these relationships, you know, maintain the things that are important for loyalty. Talk
Yeah.
to us a little about, you know, the difference and um, really thinking about your leads and your opportunities in the dealership and leveraging technology to get there quick enough, you know, that meets customers' expectations.
Well, let's start with adoption, right? So AI, for better or worse, right now can be a buzzword, right? Because not all AI is created equal, and there's also this, you know, misconception that AI is going to replace what we know and love and do under the rooftop of the dealership, right? And that's just not true. The
No.
simplest way I can get through to my team, whether it's a BDC manager, BDR, whatever it is,
Okay.
this is an extension of self, right? So no different than if I had a calculator sitting in my hand, that doesn't mean that I'm not good at math. It just means I can do more math faster, right? So in this sense, the AI, it's not going to take away the ability to schedule appointments with customers. It's going to allow you to be better with the customers that really need that TLC. Maybe it's a customer that's out of state, someone with bad credit, someone who's a little has some trepidation to entering a store for the first time. They haven't bought a car in a while. They need their handheld. AI is
Yeah.
not going to do that for you.
Mhm.
AI is going to handle the customers that are coming in. Again, these fresh leads that know what they want. Maybe the customer that doesn't know what they want, with a technology like Matador, with the deep integration into the inventory feed, they can even help the customer select a vehicle without a specific stock number. And then back to, we're dealing with these high value customers that need their handheld while Matador is silently working in the background, kind of removing that busy work. Now, that also frees up the time. I'm sure you'll agree with me.
Yeah.
BDC is kind of evolved or devolved in most cases into a call center, which we know it should not be a call center. This is a business development center. So what can we do outbound with the database that we have now that we have all that time freed up with Matador handling a lot of the low-hanging fruit? Now we can dive in, we can run campaigns, we can hit the database, and we can generate that business.
Okay, you got to expand on that for me because I've seen this thing in action. But I love this angle because I think a lot of times we look at AI as doing a lot of the tasks for us, but it actually can generate leads off the database. Can you expand on that a little bit more? Because listen, at the end of the day, you're on the advisory board here and you have worked in dealerships for a long time, and I know you know these pain points. And I think that all of us out here are dabbling in AI, and some of us have had positive experiences and negative experiences. And I always say to the dealers and the team members, you need to stay strong, stick through it, know that this is still infancy. We're still evolving. We're trying to bridge tech and everything that we have been doing in a very different way. We want to build stronger, better departments, and lead gen on your own is so strong. All I know is that a lot of times third-party leads that they're buying are weak compared to the ones they're generating on their own. So I really like this
100%.
angle. Come on, tell us how we do it.
All right, perfect. Let me dive in. So Matador has a component to it, which I think is the game changer, and it sets it apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
So we have the broadcast feature, which gives you the ability to import a data set from the CRM, right? Pick a predetermined message and then run a campaign. So idealistically, we have BDRs that are going to start hitting anniversaries, specific vehicle purchase groups, used cars, new cars. And then again, evolving this, the sales team should also be bringing you. If I'm a salesperson and I have this technology and I fully understand and evolve and get myself to where I need to be to utilize this technology, I'm coming every single day. Maybe not every single day, at least once a week to my management team. And I'm going to beg them, guys, can we run a campaign on my 1 year solds? Can we run a campaign on my 2 years? Because now I know that I have this virtual assistant, let's call them, that's going to follow up with all my customers and generate me opportunities. Let's do that, right? Instead of waiting for the door on these third-party leads, which they're hit or
So
miss.
relevant right now.
Let's dip back into our database and create some money.
Believe me, preach. I mean, I'm constantly saying this. This is why are we trying to make our lives difficult waiting around when all of the good people, the people that are warm, they know us, and we can predict when their conversion is going to take place. And so we need to stay in touch. And quite frankly, when you tap in on sold customers and the follow-up, this is a weakness. And I know this is what's so exciting about having you on today is because I know you're influencing the product, but there's no better person to influence a product than a person who's lived in the trenches and dealt with the pain and suffering that we have in the past. And what are you trying to do? Make things better for dealers. We love this business. And, this isn't about replacing people. It's about giving people the tools to strengthen their abilities, be following up they're not ready yet, and I want to have the right message, and I want to be able to make my phone calls and leave my voicemails, and humanize this experience for them.
For
So,
sure.
yeah. Well, I'm sure you've seen a lot of dealerships doing it right. Can you just lastly leave us with some intel on what they're doing that's separating them?
So the people that are separating themselves from the pack, and keep in mind, I like that, Carl will be on shortly. She talks about the hockey stick growth. We have an adoption curve in AI that is going to rapidly accelerate. I heard you mention before talking about, what the next 2-3 years look like. It's probably going to be faster than that. So the people that are adopting and
Yeah.
really becoming fluent with AI in-house, they're the ones that are evolving this, data mining process. They're the ones that are not sitting around saying, oh, my sales team got lazy because AI is handling all of the tasks. No. Again, the point is not only to make your life easier, the point is to make you more efficient and effective so you can have more time to build a better customer experience. So what better way to do that? How about personalized videos for a used car
Yes.
appointment, right? Which you can send through the app. How about extra touch points? How about your example earlier was you sit down, you get a lead, and now you got a customer that sits at your desk for the next 4 hours. That customer, idealistically, you mentioned they feel deflated because you haven't responded.
Yeah.
That's not even the truth. They go somewhere else. They don't even
Yeah,
wait
they're
for you to
talking to somebody
respond at
else.
that point.
Yeah.
You've already
They've already
lost
swiped.
them. They've already swiped. Exactly. So the people that are doing the best in this are really leaning into the technology and keeping their team focused and motivated on how else can we kind of extract little gold nuggets here and there and
Yeah.
drive those results right to the bottom line.
Really powerful conversation, Kevin. I really, I said Kevin. Why did I say Kevin? So sorry. I really like this because it just brings that real world dealership lens to how AI should actually be working, how it's being built, how it's being implemented. And you're bridging that tech in the showroom experience for us. So it's just a really great visual to hear the reminder that innovation really matters when we're trying to help people perform better.
Yeah, for sure. And one last closing thing.
Yeah.
Keep in mind right now, I just read a report. There's only 15% of dealerships that have fully leaned into and adopted AI. 15%. So
Yeah.
that means it's not too late. You haven't missed the wagon. It's
No.
time to get good now, though, because very quickly you're going to get left in the dust.
This is shocking. And I can validate it in my classes with high leadership, and even in large automotive groups. When I work with their executives, I poll them every time. How often are you using an AI tool personally in your sales meetings to help you show your team members how to use AI in their sales process? And it is less than 5%. And it is actually mind-blowing. So you're right. Everyone listening today has got a competitive advantage. You have
That's
not
right.
missed the boat. You are right on time. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights today.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks everyone for listening to Dealer Talk with Jen Suzuki. Don't forget, my weekly live classes are designed to keep your team fired up, skilled up, and focused on results. Subscribe right now at edealersolutions.com. See ya!